Hello everyone, welcome back to Dadejecova. This is the lesson 1 of the PokeAPI series. If you haven't watched the intro yet, I recommend you to do it because I'm explaining what we are building and why. But if you want to jump straight to code, you are in the right place. In this lesson, we are not going to touch any framework or database yet. We are going to use something more important first. Understand the data. We call the real PokeAPI using just plain Python, and we look at exactly what information we have available. So let's start. Oh, right. Before we install anything, we need to set up a virtual environment. When you install Python on your computer, you get a global Python installation. If you install a library globally, every project on your machine shares it. Now, imagine a project A that needs the version 2.28, for example, and the project B needs the same library, but the version 2.31. For the project B, you date the library. That means that the project A is going to break. That is a real scenario. A virtual environment creates an isolated copy of Python used for one project. This is not optional. This is how professional Python development works. Every project in this series gets its own virtual environment every time before anything else. So how we create it? First, we are going to write python -m venv.venv. Okay, the first venv, this one, is the Python module. The second is the name of the folder. You can write any name you want, so it doesn't matter, but it's recommended to use venv or .venv. As you can see there in the left, the folder appear. So let's go and activate it on Windows. To enter the environment, we just need to write the folder scripts activated, and you can see it changes. Now we are into the virtual environment. If we write something like pip freeze to check what it has, it's going to say nothing because we haven't installed anything yet. Let's go and install our first library. Is pip install requests. Cool. To check, we write pip freeze and the library is installed. Cool. Okay, let me explain what request does. When you open a browser and you go to a website, your browser is making an HTTP request. It sends a message to a server. It gives me the data at this URL, and the server sends me back a response. Request lets you do exactly that from Python code. You give it an URL, it sends the request, it gives you back the response. Usually the responses are in JSON, which in Python becomes a dictionary. So the PokeAPI is free. It's public. You don't need any account, neither any API key. You just need to call the URL and you get the data. For example, the data is there. If you click there, pokeapi.co, API version 2, Pokemon Dido, you can get all the information there. We can search for another one, Snorlax. We get another one. Okay. Cool. Limber Imposer from Dito. Let's gonna close this and let's gonna create a new document. Let's gonna call it explorer api.py. Let's gonna select the interpreter. You can select the interpreter with Ctrl-Shift-P. We are going to work with the virtual environment. So that's all. First, we need to import the request. Import request. This is the URL that we are going to use. So we need the URL. to almacenate the URL, we need a variable. So we are going to create URL assigned who has the data from the URL. Now we got the URL. We need a response. The response is what is going to be in the response. We are going to request the data that contains that get the URL. And we can see the information that response correct. To execute this, we are going to write Python and explore api.py. The response has a status code 200. That means it's okay. So let's gonna read the actual data. In Python, we call a JSON to compare the raw response to a Python dictionary. Then we access the key like any normal dictionary. To do this, we need to create a data that is going to get the response, and we are going to transform into JSON. Cool. To print it, we are going to set, this is going to be only text. Basic info, cool, print. Let's gonna see the data first. Data, okay. As you can see, everything is there. So we are not going to work with all these things. So we already have a plan to do. So I don't need to see it entire data. But we are going to see the name and the ID. To this, we are going to set name. We are going to call the data that contains the name of the Pokemon. And the same is for the ID. ID, data, ID. Yeah, CLS. Let's gonna run it. As you can see, we got the response there. This is text. We got the name of the Pokemon that we are searching in the URL, that is Snorlax, and the ID of it. Let's gonna change it for Rayquaza. Cool. We get the same. The name of the Pokemon and the ID. Now we are going to get the types. Let's gonna look at types. Types is a list. Each item has a key called types, and inside that another key called name. This is nest JSON. It's very common in real APIs. For example, Pikachu only has one type, is electric, but Charizard, it has two types, flying and fire. We need to handle the case where the second type doesn't exist, but we will do that in the backend lesson. For now, we are going to print the information. Print stats there, print I'm wrong. We don't need this yet. We need the data. The data that contains stats. How we get information? For this, we need a for. For stats in data. For every s in data, stats, we are going to get print f every s that contain stat that contains name Cool. Let me see what is showing. Stats. There's an error. Oh, it's in plural. Okay. Okay. As you can see, we got the HP, attack, defense, special defense, and the speed. But we are looking for the value too. For this, we are going to get the same for every stat that have on base stat. It's close, it's safe. Okay, cool. It has a lot. I don't remember that. Well, that's the way to see the 6 stats. The stats come as a list. The order is always the same from the PokeAPI. For example, the index is HP. That means, let me copy that. The index. This is the index. This is the index, right? So, as you can see, in Python, we start the list or the rise in the 0 position. So this is going to be 0. One, two, three, 4, 5. This is the order that it's always the same in the PokeAPI. So we need to remember this because we are going to use this exact index number when we map the data to our database. So we need to remember this order. Now we want to check the, let's see the sprites. For the sprites, we get three sprites. Sprites, I'm correct. There's no list. This is print data. Sprites. From default. Let me see. Right. Do I have something wrong? Front default. Cool. If we look for the sprite, we got the Rayquaza image. Cool. Now let's gonna see the first 5 move. For this, we are going to see first 5 moves. We are going to use exactly the same that we do in stats. So for this, we are going to set for env in data. Let's gonna call it moves. Moves. We're gonna print information. Moves that contains m moves names. Names. Cool. Moves. Always mistype. Names. I forgot that in this part the column names are in singular. So we are having everything. Why? I forgot to put information. We are going to say that we need for the start to the 5 index. Now CLS. Let's gonna run again, and we got all the first 5 move. I don't remember if those are the first 5 moves. But well, if the API say that, that is. So as you can see, we execute the different things. We get the name, the ID, the different stats, the 6 stats that every Pokemon contains, the row with sprite, and the first 5 move. So in this lesson, we set up a virtual environment, installed and understood request, and called the real information from PokeAPI to explore the data structure. In the next lesson, we are going to take this data and draw a simple chart, just to visualize and confirm that the 6 stats are what we want to show. So, see you there. Take care.